Hello, beautiful peaches. Welcome to the Macros, Metabolism, and Motivation Beautiful Peach podcast. I'm your host, Caitlen, here to help you find your most unwavering love, beauty, and kindness for yourself inside and out. I will be teaching you nutrition and macro tracking secrets, reverse diet and metabolism health tips and tricks, and motivating the heck out of you so you will want to leap up and start conquering your goals right away. I am here to help bring you the light at the end of the tunnel so you can discover that self-love and truly become the most confident, beautiful peach possible. So grab a pen and a piece of paper, or if you're in the car at the gym, go ahead and bump up your volume just a little so we can drown out those gym grunters next to you, and we can go ahead and dive right in. Don't forget to snag your completely free high-protein macro cookbook by simply doing a 5-star rate and review on this podcast. All you need to do is submit a 5-star rate and review, then send us your name and email through the link in the show notes so we know exactly where to send your cookbook. By submitting your 5-star rate review, this will also automatically enter you into the weekly podcast macro calculator giveaway. Every week, I give away a copy of my See You Schmidt macro calculator to one lovely winner who leaves an awesome 5-star rate and review. This winner is announced every week on my Instagram story as well as my newsletter email list. So leave that 5-star rate and review, and I'll see you in the episode. What is up, my beautiful, beautiful peach? Today, I am going to be talking about diet pills and my hot take on diet pills as someone who has her bachelor's degree in nutrition and dietetics, master's in exercise science and sports nutrition, and my master's thesis on reverse dieting and healing our metabolism from diet burnout, as well as the effects on dieting on long-term results and mentality. I have worked with many clients after they have taken diet pills, medical or not, and they have not been able to actually get the weight off and to keep it off. Now, my honest, just straight up thought is I do not recommend diet pills. I do not recommend them. And so in today's episode, I am going to share the education on why I do not recommend them. And if you are currently taking them, I want to share my thoughts on how to stop taking them without the weight regain. So without further ado, let's dive into this podcast episode, Diet Pills for Weight Loss, Myths and Facts. Diet pills drive me absolutely bonkers. Absolutely bonkers. I cannot promise that I will not get worked up in this episode. As you know, if you are somebody who has been listening to my podcast episode for a long time episodes, not just this episode for a long time, I get very passionate about what I teach and I love what I do. I have been coaching for full-time for over 6 years. I think we're closing in on like 7 years, maybe a little bit farther over. Instead of going and working in a hospital as a dietitian, I actually instead started my own fully online practice to help women heal from the inside out, and I love what I do. So today I want to give you some science behind diet pills, give you my hot take, my personal experiences and insight, and just take a dive on in. So let's do it. Let's start with how do diet pills actually work. They actually work quite a bit like, very much like how diets work, but with added suppressants to our hunger hormones, which right off the bat, people initially think, well, great. Isn't that what we technically want? I don't want to feel hunger because when I'm hungry, I eat more. And if I'm not feeling hungry, then I won't eat more, right? So it's kind of like a ripple effect. It's, okay, well, I won't feel hunger. I won't eat as much. I'll lose weight. And that is pretty much like in a short rundown of what a diet pill does. Yes, that is how they work short term if you are somebody who has never dieted before. However, in the long term, it is a very different impact to our entire body. And when you stop those diet pills, you see weight regain, which means you're basically stuck on diet pills for the rest of your life, which we don't want. So second here, let's look at the different parts of a diet pill, the different components, if you will. let's just dive into this one. I don't know what to call that. It's not a part of a diet pill. It's not like we're cutting it in half and looking at the left side compared to the right side, but we want to look at the different components of diet pills, okay? So let's start with the hunger suppressant piece. What happens when we don't feel hunger is we eat less. What happens when we eat less is we lose weight. However, this is actually a hit or a miss. If you are somebody who has already been dieting, you're in a restrictive place, this will actually not help you at all because you are already eating less. And second of all, this won't actually help you long term. If you are not in a calorie deficit, you never have been, you have never dieted ever in your entire life, and you take diet pills with the intention of lowering your hunger to lower the amount of food that you eat to then lose weight, which you could also just go into safe deficit, calorie deficit, you will lose weight at first, but you will see that weight regain. And I'm going to talk about that in just a second, why it actually does happen specifically with diet pills. So the second piece that we want to look at is the negatives of each of those above. If we don't feel hunger, we feel like this is a good thing because when we're hungry, we want to eat more. And if we eat more, we assume we're going to gain weight. We actually really want to feel our hunger. Our body has hunger hormones that help us understand, helps our body understand when we should be full, when we should be feeling hunger, when we're satisfied. Hunger is a good thing to feel. I have worked with many clients who come to me in a massive restriction and they cannot tell when they're actually hungry or not. I've had some clients who go all day long without eating and they're not hungry, or, you go into the space where you're absolutely starving and you think, well, I will just drink coffee. It's going to suppress my hunger. This is messing with your metabolism. It's messing with your digestion. It's messing with your body. It's messing with your hunger hormones. It's messing with everything in your body. And it is not a badge of honor to see how long you cannot eat. It is not a badge of honor to win the restriction contests that we often see among dieters, especially around in social settings. And during the holidays, you see an uptick of people who sit around and they're like, oh, I can't eat this, I can't eat that. And it's one of those things where we feel like we can't do certain things. And it becomes kind of a contest amongst the dieters of, oh, well, I'm doing keto. Well, how long have you made it? Oh, 2 weeks. Oh, well, I gave about 1. Oh, I can't eat that. And it becomes like contest of who's doing better with their dieting. And so it's funny because you can tell the people who have a healed relationship with food and healed metabolism because they're just kind of like walking away from the conversation. I will fully admit I do walk away from those conversations because I have such a hard time, unless it's somebody who's asking intentionally for help. I have such a hard time keeping my mouth shut. I really do. I really have such a hard time keeping my mouth shut because it's like you are doing so much harm to your body. And we really want to be able to feel those hunger cues, feel those hunger hormones. So when we're using the diet pill to actually suppress that hunger, that is not good because it's suppressing the way that our body actually works, and it's putting a Band-Aid on that when you take that Band-Aid off, you will still now not just have to heal your metabolism, not just have to heal your relationship with food, but you're also going to have to heal your hunger hormones to make sure that they are firing properly, which is something that I do when we are reverse dieting. I have many clients, like I said, who are not able to fully feel their hunger properly. And so it's really fun because I'll have clients who are like, oh my gosh, I'm actually feeling my hunger. Oh my gosh, I'm actually, feeling this. Like, well, I'll have my meal and I'm feeling satisfied. And then a few hours later, I'm like, I'm hungry again. Like, this is incredible. I actually am feeling it and also listening to it and giving it the fuel that it needs. So next we can actually go into when we eat less, it can lead to weight loss, right? In the sense of if we are eating less than where our metabolism needs to be. Okay, so let's put it this way. Let me actually do an example because I think I said that really in a confusing way. So let's say that we're eating 1,200 calories. That is already a deficit. We cannot eat less food from here, okay? We're already in a calorie deficit. If you add diet pills to the mix here, it is quite literally not going to make a difference. Not going to make a difference. I want to interrupt this oh so lovely podcast episode of mine to let you know that the Food, Freedom, and Macro Guide is available to you completely free. This guide holds the answers you need to end the macro mystery and learn why nothing else has ever worked long-term. With macros and your human factor, you can have your cake and eat it too. Live your life instead of wasting every day hyper-focused on all of the stress on what you can and cannot eat. This food freedom and macro guide will give you clarity on what macros are and the role that they play in your metabolism. You'll learn why macros are so important to keep your body functioning properly and how we actually use these and your human factor to see the changes that you want. You'll be able to discover the anti-diet world and how we use macros to eat the food that we love every day. If you're ready for endless food freedom and want to take a deep dive into macros, this guide is for you. Go ahead down to the show notes and grab your guide today. If you are someone who has been eating 2,500 calories a day, maybe you do or don't know how much you're eating, but you're just eating in a surplus, and you start taking diet pills, which again, please don't take them. You can go into a safe calorie deficit, but just saying this is the case, this is an example. You start taking diet pills, all of a sudden your hunger is suppressed. Holy crap, you are no longer hungry at all. All of a sudden you're eating 1,200 calories. Yes, that is considered a calorie deficit from where you were eating. You were eating 2,500 calories. You're now eating 1,200 calories. However, you have now just given your body a full crash diet, a full crash restriction. Now your hunger cues and hunger hormones are not going to be firing properly. So not only do you now have to heal your metabolism because you've crashed down to that 1,200 calorie space, you likely are going to have a hard time sticking at that 1,200 calorie space. So when you eat more, it will lead to weight regain. And also when you stop taking those diet pills, it is taking off the short-term band-aid, and it will lead to that weight regain as well, because now your hunger is starting to come back and you're like, I don't know what to do about this, okay? And also, honestly, diet pills are like the most expensive band-aid. And the problem is, like, once you are taking them, you're going to have to continue to pay to take them. So wouldn't you rather pay to have a sustainable lifestyle and to sustainably heal your metabolism and lose weight without the diet pill, so you're not having the band-aid and you're creating a long-term change? I would say yes, because when you take that band-aid off, bam, here's the weight regain, bam, here's the unregulated hunger hormones. I have in my notes, bam, oh my gosh, what have I done? I need to do another diet. And you've now just poured thousands of dollars into diet pills when you could have poured that money into a sustainable change. So instead, oh my gosh, I wrote the word implore. That's so funny. I said, I implore you to do a safe calorie deficit. I don't just say, please do it. I implore you. It can take longer, okay? It can take longer, and you want it to. You want it to. You can listen to episodes, I believe it's 101. I think I might have the wrong numbers here, but it's somewhere around 101 and 102. Losing 50 pounds in 2 weeks, stitching the quick fix mentality for success. And then also episode 87, how a calorie deficit can sabotage your weight loss goals. These are both really, really solid episodes, and they really help you with the quick fix mentality. But my main thing here too is if you are somebody who has thought about doing diet pills, we know we don't want to be doing them because it will lead to longer term problems, messing with your hunger hormones, having them not fire properly. And it is possible to lose weight sustainably without all of that. Your money would be much better off putting it into investing it into something that is going to be a hey, like BPM, a Beautiful Peach Mastermind. That's a great swap for you. But no, the thing is too, is if you are taking diet pills and you want to stop taking those diet pills, Trisket is quite literally shaking because she sees a lizard she wants to get to. Trisket, distraction, no more shaking, babe. She gets so excited and she like shakes when she wants to get to something. But if you are somebody who wants to get off of diet pills, you want to stop taking diet pills, and you don't want the weight regain that comes with it, I highly suggest reverse dieting through the process, because what this will do is it will help take you from that lower intake up to a higher intake without all of the weight regain. You can do it naturally. There's no need for you to take any kind of extra diet pill or any kind of pill or anything like that. I always say with supplements, yeah, sure. I mean, take your vitamins. Like, I think it's really good to take your vitamins, but supplements are just that. They are supplements. So if you don't even want to take any supplements, like, you don't have to. When it comes to healing our body, we get to do it naturally. We get to heal from the inside out. And I really encourage you to stop doing anything that is telling you to eat or not eat certain foods. Like if you are having to change your life to do a diet that's not actually something that's sustainable, you want something that's going to help you sustainably lose weight, okay? So short, sweet, and to the point with this episode, I just really wanted to walk through the main pieces with diet pills. And it is the fact that when we are taking diet pills, they are hunger suppressants. No matter what I've seen diet pills and they're like fat loss. Sometimes they're not even called, they're tricky with their names, like a fat loss. What did I see the other day? Like a fat loss something. I can't think of what the word was, but a lot of times they're like fat loss pills or like expedite your fat loss with this pill. And it's not, the problem is it's not telling you why the fat loss is happening, and it only works for certain people short term. So if you're already in a calorie deficit, your hunger hormones are probably already a little bit wonky. And so that fat loss pill is going to do absolutely nothing for you. And if you are not in a full restrictive place yet, then you are going to take those fat loss pills, those diet pills, and it's actually going to push you into a place where you are in a restricted space. Your hunger hormones are going to be all kinds of wonky, and it's pushing yourself into a place that you don't want to be. So I'm very big about preventative, and I think that by taking action in our current situation, it can help prevent us from many, many health problems down the road. And for me, I would much rather invest in myself, invest my money now in my health to make sure that down the road, I'm not ending up in the hospital. I'm not ending up in this worse off space. I would always rather invest in myself now and put in the work and, pay my money to something that is actually sustainable and maintainable and realistic, right? That's going to lead to a long-term change, then try and throw money at quick fixes and fat loss pills. And full transparency, I also am not a big fan of weight loss surgery. I did so many studies on this in school, but for a large number of the population of women and men, but women because that's mainly who I work with, that's only who I work with. But what happens is we see weight regain because weight loss surgery is restricting the amount of food that you're eating. My gal pals, we don't want that. I had a client who had weight loss surgery who came to me because she was struggling with weight regain, and we had to go through the full reverse diet because it did restrict her. She was eating like 900 or 1,000 calories. So it's just important. You want the long-term change. Basic thing here, you want the long-term change. So with all of this, I appreciate you so very much, and I am always here for you. Don't forget to do a 5-star rate and review. It makes me oh so happy, and it helps get the word out of all of my nerdy goodness to those around. So I appreciate you, and I will see you in the next episode. Bye, my beautiful peach.